Good morning, my dear students. Wishing you a very beautiful morning and a wonderful day. Students, today we will be learning something in history. So, our today's subject is history. So, I request everyone to open your history textbook. Page number 1, chapter number 1, Sources of History. So today in this chapter we are going to learn about the different sources of history. So let's start with the introduction first. We studied ancient means past Indian history last year. This year we are going to study the medieval period of Indian history. Broadly, the period from the 9th century CE till the end of the 18th century CE is considered to be the medieval period of Indian history. In this lesson, we are going to study the sources of medieval period. Student, Indian history is divided into three parts. They are ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history, and modern Indian history. Last year, we studied ancient Indian history in 6th standard. This year, we are going to study medieval Indian history. The period from 9th century CE till the end of 18th century CE is considered to be as medieval period of Indian history. Let's see the next paragraph. History gives us a chronological, scientific and systematic account of past events. What do you mean by this, children? History gives us chronological, scientific and systematic account of past events means people know what happened in the past by looking at the things from the past through the sources of history. The study, research on the sources provide us information of the past events in proper order and in properly arranged. Four factors are very important from the viewpoint of history. They are individuals, society, place, and time. History must be based on authentic means genuine evidence or proofs. These proofs are known as the sources of history. Now let's see, what do you mean by sources of history? Individual, society, place and time are important elements in the study of history because it helps us to understand individual, people and society, and it gives us data on how people and society is lived and behave at a particular time at a particular place in the past, which is possible through the study of various sources of history. History must be based on authentic evidence means genuine evidence and proofs, which are known as sources of history. So what do you mean by sources of history? History must be based on authentic evidence and proofs, and that is known as sources of history. Let's see the next para. We have to consider many factors related to the historical event that we want to study. It is necessary to support our study with historical sources. These sources have to be verified. We have to see whether they are authentic. It is necessary to use these sources judicially and only after a critical analysis. What do you mean by this, children? Sources of history should be verified through critical analysis to ascertain authenticity. Yes, it is important because these sources are basically the evidence and proof which need to undergo the process of testing and detailed research to find out whether sources are reliable, not fake or copied, and it is worth. This is necessary because the information reaching us must be true and correct, or else we may get incorrect and false information which may hold back our knowledge, and it is not really good. The sources of history are classified, divided as material sources, written sources, and oral sources. So, these sources of history, children, are divided into how many parts? 3 parts. They are material source, written source, and oral source. Now, let me talk little more about these sources in detail. So, let's see our first source, that is material source. Forts have an important place among material sources. Some major types of forts are hill forts, forest forts, sea forts, and forts on the plains. Monuments includes samadhis, graves, virgala, and building includes palaces, ministerial mansion, queen's quarter, ranivasa, and also houses of common people. They all provide insight about that period. Looking at them, we come to know about the development of architecture, the economic condition, the quality of art, style of building, construction, and people's standard of living in that particular period. Now, let us study the first sources of history, that is material source, in detail. Forts, memorial buildings, cave sculptures, inscription, coins, copper plate are regarded as material sources. So, what are material sources, children? Forts, memorials, buildings, cave sculptures, inscriptions, coins, copper plate are regarded as material sources which are tangible, can be seen and touched. Tangible means this material source can be seen and touched. Now, children, let us study more about these material sources. Forts are vital, important position among material source. Why, children? Because forts are strongly built by kings and nobles for protection of their respective region. While never a region is expected to come under attack, all the people take refuge, shelter inside the forts along with useful things. Some of the major forts were hill forts, forest forts, sea forts, and forts on the plains. Hills and monuments are the next material sources. What are memorials and monuments? Listen to me carefully. A structure or an object created in remembrance of a person or important event. It means a structure or an object meant to remind people of a person or event. Memorial or monument are the sources of history. It gives us sense of wonder, a sense of surprise, and make us curious to know more about the past connected with it. The study of memorial and monuments includes samadhis, graves, virgalas, buildings, includes palaces, ministerial mansion, queen's mansion, and houses of common people. It gives an idea about the development of architecture. Means all the sources, it gives an idea about the development of architecture and the quality of art in that particular period. So understood memorials and monuments? Okay. Now move ahead to our next paragraph. The coins made by different rulers using metals like gold, silver, copper are important sources of history. From these coins, we learn about the rulers, their period, governance, religious ideas, personal details, etc. Similarly, we also learn about the financial transaction and economic conditions prevailing at that time. We also see how far metallurgy had advanced in that period. From the images of Ram Sita on the coins of Emperor Akbar or Shiva Parvati on the coins of Hyder Ali, we see the religious coordination of those days. The Peshwas used the Arabic or Persian language on their coins. This throws light on the use of language in that period. Now let's see about the coins. Coins were made by different rulers using metals like gold, silver and copper. So what the ruler do, children? They use coins using metals like gold, silver and copper. So from coins we learn about rulers, the period of governance. Governance means that is administration, religious ideas and personal detail. We also learn about financial transaction and economic condition. The progress of metallurgy means properties or technique of heating metals so as to give desired shape, and children also making alloys. We can also learn and understand the religious coordination from these coins, script and language of that period. Coins are considered as basic and primary source of information. Through the minute and detailed observation of coin, we can obtain many information. Right, children? Here are the images of coins. Look at these images. Through these images, we come to know about the quality of the kings at that time. In the first coin, that is gold coin, that coin shows Shiva Parvati, and the reverse of the coin shows Persian letter He for Hyder Ali. So from this coin, front side of the coin you will see the Shiva Parvati image, and the reverse of the coin shows Persian letter He for Hyder Ali, the emperor of that time. Now look at this coin. This is called Peshwa coin. This coin were indeed beautiful. All Peshwa coin were round shape and minted using silver. The Peshwas used the Arabic language on their coins. This throw lights on the metal used to minted coin. So on this coin you can see the Arabic or Persian language used. So Peshwa always used Arabic or Persian language on their coins. Now let's see our next source, that is inscription. An inscription is a carving on a stone or a wall, etc. For example, the inscription found in the Brihadishwara temple premises in Tanjavur. Many inscriptions of the period of Chalukya, Rashtrakuta, Chola and Yadava kings have been found. An inscription is considered to be a very important and reliable source of history. It helps us to understand features like the language, script, social life of a period. Inscription carved on a sheet of copper are known as copper plates. Royal edicts, verdicts, etc. are inscribed on copper plates. Now let's see about the inscription. Students, inscription is an important material source. An inscription is a carving or writing on a wall or a stone. What is inscription? Inscription is a carving or writing on a wall or a stone. Some material as an important historical sources. These are valuable and reliable evidence. Inscription are seen on rocks, stones, walls, pillars, slabs and walls of temple. So where you see inscription, children? We see inscription on rocks, stones, walls, pillars, slabs and walls of temple. They also found on sheets and copper plates. The good example of inscription is Brihadishwara temple premises in Tanjavur. This is a good example of inscription. You can also see on slide, children, the image of stone inscription of 10th century. Inscription also help us to understand languages that was spoken and script that were used. The last material source of this chapter is copper plates. Copper plates are inscription carved on copper sheet. Copper plates are also an inscription which is carved on copper sheets. Copper plates were widely used for writing inscription. Why copper plates were used? They were widely used for writing inscription. The kings have inscription carved on copper plates as a sign of their power and wisdom. When a king lives or dies, the power and knowledge remain in the memory of the people in the kingdom through these copper plates. Copper plates are valuable sources in history. Why? As they give us an insight into social and political condition of medieval India. Understood? So, my dear students, in this lecture, we have learned about the first sources of history, that is, material source in detail. Remaining two sources we will be learning in our next lecture. So thank you for listening me calmly. I will be coming soon with the next section of the chapter. Till then, enjoy learning. Bye and take care.